Welcome to the Busy Bee Chronicles. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down information about the upcoming Disneyland Halloween Half Marathon Weekend happening September 5th through 8th, 2024 in Anaheim, California. Now this will be my second RunDisney event that I've participated in. The first one I did was in January 2024 and it was very fun but also very cold, so I'm looking forward to this one being much warmer. Also, I didn't dress up to match the theme last time, but this time I am, so I'll show you guys later what I'm wearing. So let's get into the details. The first thing all registered participants will need to do is to sign your digital waiver online if you have not done so already. Another thing that applies to all events is that you will need to have a valid theme park ticket and park reservation if you wish to come into the parks outside of your registered event. Your purchase of your RunDisney event registration does not include any park tickets or reservations. So of course, you don't have to visit the parks, you don't have to purchase a ticket if you don't want to, but for example, if you have a race in the morning, even if the course of your race runs through Disneyland Park, after the race, you cannot stay in the park, you must exit, and you can't re-enter unless you've purchased a park ticket and made a reservation for that day. So if you want to visit the parks, that's a separate ticket, but you don't have to visit the parks. You can just do the RunDisney event and not purchase park tickets if you don't want to go in. Now, if you're in a race, the 5K, 10K, or half marathon, checking in and race bib pickup will be done at the Health and Fitness Expo, which I will get into in just a minute. But if you're in the first event of the whole weekend, it's a little different. Disneyland Halloween Yoga takes place on Thursday, September 5th at Disneyland Park. You need to arrive with a valid ID and a completed yoga check-in pass to the ticket booth number 5 in order to check in for yoga. Now check-in opens at the booth at 3:45 a.m. and closes by 4:45 a.m. They will provide you with a yoga mat, a carrying strap, and a bottle of water. So if you're in this event, you don't have to worry about bringing those things with you. If you're not staying in a hotel within walking distance, it's important to know that the Mickey and Friends parking structure will open at 3 a.m. Security checkpoints open at 3:30 a.m. and then the actual event starts for yoga at 5 a.m. and finishes at 6 a.m. Now, September 5th is also the first day of the Health and Fitness Expo, which is where you will need to check in and pick up your race bib if you are participating in any of the races. On the website, there's a ton of information about the expo, health and safety, race information, and more. There's even a map so that you can find what you're looking for in the expo. This is labeled Digital Expo on the website, so not to be confused with the expo that will be in person at the event, which is located at the Disneyland Hotel. The hours for the expo at the Disneyland Hotel will be Thursday, September 5th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday, September 6th, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, September 7th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's very important to note the hours of the expo and to remember that if you are in a race, because you must go to the expo prior to your race day in order to check in and pick up your shirt, race bib, and your gear bag. And on the website, they have a very detailed map of the expo so you know where to go before you arrive. Race bib pickup will be in the Magic Kingdom Ballroom on the upper level of the Disneyland Hotel exhibit hall. Race shirt and gear bag pickup will be in the Grand Ballroom on the lower level of the Disneyland Hotel exhibit hall. Pre-purchase merchandise pickup will also be in the Grand Ballroom on the lower level. Now, if you would like to exchange your participant shirt for a different size after getting it at the event, at the expo, they say that you can as long as your size is still available that you want. I did this at my last race and they were very helpful, but know that you will need to get into an additional line after you pick up your shirt to do so. So the shirt exchange location is also on the lower level and it's right near where you would pick up your race shirt anyway. And don't forget, there will also be several booths and fun things at the expo, like different exhibitors and sponsors to check out while you're there. Now, if you're interested in shopping, I'm going to talk about that a little later and we'll get into that. Okay, so moving on to Friday, September 6th. This is the day of the Disneyland Halloween 5K. This race starts in Disneyland Park and ends in Disney California Adventure. On this day, the Mickey and Friends parking structure opens at 3 a.m., security checkpoints open at 3:30 a.m., and the staging area and corrals open at 4 a.m. Now, your corral assignment will be on your race bib, and there will be signs directing you to where to get into the correct corral at your race. The 5K begins at 5 a.m. and the start line closes at 5:15. So that is a very important time because it means if you're late, you don't get inside on time, you will miss your race. The Disneyland Halloween 10K is Saturday, September 7th, and it is starting on Disney Way. So on this day, the parking lot that you will use is the Toy Story parking lot, which will open at 3 a.m. The security checkpoints, family reunion areas, and corrals will open at 3:30 a.m. The race begins at 5 a.m. and the start line closes at 5:45 a.m. I also recommend that no matter what race you're doing, to check out your race map, your course map, so that you can see where your starting area is and plan how you're going to get there in the morning, because it's very early and you want to be prepared when you're waking up and rushing, and you just know where to go. Now, if you've made it this far, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. It helps my channel grow so that more people can find the Busy Bee Chronicles, and also let me know down below if you've ever done a Run Disney event and if you're coming to this one. Okay, now the Disneyland Halloween Kid races are also on Saturday, September 7th, and the race start and the family reunion area is also located on Disney Way. Now there are a lot of race times for specific kids races, so I'm going to pop that up here on the screen for you to take a look at. And some very important information related to these races has to do with the parent claim tag instructions. So parents and guardians, please check out your information and the website for specific instructions related to how to deal with the claim tags on the kid race bibs. Also, something to note is that it says parents are allowed to run with their children, but only registered children will receive a finisher medallion. Now, the final race of the weekend is the Disneyland Halloween Half Marathon on Sunday, September 8th. For this day, the Toy Story parking lot will open at 3 a.m. Security checkpoints, family reunion area, and corrals open at 3:30 a.m. and the race begins at 5 a.m. with the start line closing at 5:35 a.m. Okay, so that's all the races, but let's talk gear bag check. Gear check is a service Run Disney provides for participants in the 5K, 10K, and half marathon. Basically, it's a clear plastic bag that you can check your items in before a race and pick up after. It shouldn't include any valuables, but it allows you to have some things that you may want after the race that you don't want to actually run with, but you don't want to go all the way back to your hotel or your car to get. For the 5K, the gear check will be near the stroller shop, right in front of Disneyland Park. And for the 10K and the half marathon, it will be in the northwest corner in the family reunion area, over in the start area that I talked about on Disney Way. Restrooms are another important thing. They mention online that portable restroom facilities will be available near the start line, on the course near the water stops, as well as in the finish area. So you don't have to worry about that. There will be restrooms available. Guest restrooms inside the theme parks will also be available for the runners who are running through the parks. Okay, so shopping. If you'd like to shop at the Run Disney merchandise shop and you didn't do any of the pre-purchase merchandise, you're going to need a virtual queue for the first day of the Health and Fitness Expo. Run Disney also states that they may implement the virtual queue on the rest of the days as well if needed. So the information on the virtual queue, it was a link at the bottom of the email that your check-in pass was sent in, as you can see here. The virtual queue will be done through the Disneyland app and can be entered as early as 7 a.m. Then, if it's available, you will be assigned a boarding group, and you can check within the app when you have reached your boarding group and when you are able to go shop. It should send you a notification, but you are able to go and see what boarding group that they're on if you aren't receiving notifications. And as with all virtual queues, I encourage you to try to get in it right then at 7 a.m. Most of the time you can't get into the queue if you wait past that point for any other Disney virtual queues, but it's possible. Last but not least, let's talk costumes, because you are allowed to wear costumes as long as they meet the guidelines. Now, there are a lot of guidelines about costumes so that everyone can have something fun, but also to ensure everyone's safety. So I encourage you to check the online guide for all the policies before selecting a costume. You can find the policies and guidelines under the runner information of the website. Then if you scroll down, you'll see costume guidelines, which takes you to a page that shows all of the on-site policies. Okay, so let me show you what I plan on wearing. And there's rules on dresses and things, but my dress is fairly short, it has no hoop skirt, and it's only a single layer. So this is something that should be appropriate and meet the guidelines. It says that it must follow the contour of your body, but it does include skirts and things are okay as long as, like I said, it doesn't have hoops, it doesn't have anything sharp, it's not, to me, it sounds like bulging from your body, basically, because they don't want you in the way of other runners. So this is what I have. All right, this is my dress. So even though I'm doing the 5K race, which is, I think, Chip and Dale, and it's like orange, and that's the theming of the medal and everything, I really like Haunted Mansion. So I wanted to do something Haunted Mansion themed. So I'm not a direct character of any sort, but I'm just sort of Haunted Mansion themed. It's an old dance costume, and as a dancer, if we get to reuse an old dance costume at some point, that's just a bonus. We like to do that. So it's single layered, it's stops, mid-calf. This should be perfectly fine, and it's also comfortable because you don't want to pick something that's really uncomfortable. You want to enjoy what you're wearing. And then I have like a little bow of Mickey ears, but it sort of matches my dress. So I'm excited to get to wear this because I didn't dress up last time. So I'm going to try to do it in the morning, even when I'm barely awake, to get ready and look kind of cute. And Run Disney should be fun. So that's something else I wanted to mention. If you're nervous about it and maybe you don't feel very confident as a runner, don't stress. If you're in the 10K or half marathon, you must be able to maintain a minimum of a 16-minute per mile pace, but no minimum time is listed for the 5K. Several people, including myself, walk or do a sort of walk-jog combo in the 5K, and it's perfectly acceptable by Disney, as long as you keep moving and you're courteous of others. Now, if you know you're not fast and you need to pace yourself with a walk, keep to the right and out of the way of people moving faster than you. That's what I did. If I needed to walk, I'd keep all the way to the right, and when I would pick it up to a jog, I would move around people to the left a little. But if people were still faster than me, I left plenty of space so that they can pass me, and I don't want to disturb their pace. And if you're an awesome runner, that's great too. Get your best time and enjoy the magic along the way. Okay, I hope this video helped you with some of the information about the Disneyland Halloween Half Marathon. There's lots of information there. I'll be covering all of the wonderful Halloween time fun while I'm there too, so watch out for those videos. And if you made it to the end of this video, comment with "I did it," because that is what we want to practice at the end of our races this weekend too. Have an awesome race, everyone, and thanks for buzzing by.